Hey guys, how's it going? Matt from Foulball Productions here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you're doing great. I'm doing phenomenally. Thank you so much. And I'm here with my partner. This is Culture Crime Fighters. I'm here with my partner in Culture Crime Fighting, Mr.
Vigilante Williamson here on the 20th episode of the Culture Crime Fighters. I'm happy to be here, man. How you doing?
Doing pretty well, my friend. Doing pretty well. When you said that 20 episodes, I was like, damn, dude, that's pretty solid.
Yeah, it's a solid season.
Uh-huh.
Solid season. A solid season of television. Something you will never get out of Disney Plus.
That's a good point. And remember that. Don't have hope.
No.
Abandon all hope.
Yeah. When it comes to corporations, abandon all hope. They're not competent enough.
No, they're not. It's so brutal. It just keeps getting worse and worse. Like I saw Delta. It's like they're trying to hire like more diverse pilots and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want the, I don't want the diversity hire pilot.
No,
not at all.
Here's the thing, man. How do you think it feels for the because diversity just means non-white,
right,
non-white men,
yeah,
who like actually work their ass off just to, no one wants to be a fucking token.
No.
So like this shit is more racist. It's almost like the we're probably not gonna talk about because I actually want to talk about with Bruce Lombardo Dick's Division, the fucking G.I. Joe, where they made the martial arts character Asian because they thought it was racist if they didn't. And I'm like, okay, it's way more racist to lead into a stereotype and force a race change like all martial artists are Asian. And secondly, in a modern era, if you are going to race change, wouldn't it be a Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy? Because now that, G.I. Joe was made in the era before MMA. Now that MMA exists, we recognize that would be the most effective martial arts to be able to grapple people.
Yeah, but they don't think in these terms. You're dealing with complete logic. It's like it's the whole thing where we talk about Star Wars. It's like, when they conceive of it, they're thinking, okay, how can we market this? How can we capitalize on that? They're not thinking, oh wait, so where were we at the end of the last story? They don't think in those terms. Like, oh, what would be the most logical martial artist? Like, I don't know, the one that doesn't get us hate tweets.
But like, isn't that part of the reason the Shang-Chi is not going to be in China? That they thought it was stereotypical. I believe it is.
I can't remember. There was some reason.
It wasn't just that. It was. I think it was the Mandarin is too close to Fu Manchu, who was like a really stereotypical character from back in the day. And I think Fu Manchu is actually based like a part of the comic universe. And then I thought they thought that they were too stereotypical of the depictions, that China didn't want it because of that. So it's like,
I don't know. It's hilarious. I do like watching Hollywood fall on their face when they're just pandering to China, and they get their dicks chopped off. It's like, ha.
That's what they get.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Let's say hi. We got a bunch of people
everybody.
watching. Hello. Got Lord
Thoth. Hey, Lord Thoth.
Lord Thoth. Who joined me on Monday for my 1-year channel celebration. You were there as well.
Yeah.
Thank you for everyone. Thank you. And thanks for everyone who was there. That was a lot of fun. We got the Wake Down.
Wake Down.
Hail. Ginger Ninja.
Hey, Ginger Ninja.
Ginger Ninja says, went out of my way to not fly Delta on my way back this time. Cost a bit more money, but F Delta.
Yeah. That's just fucking dangerous. That's not a spot where you put less competent people in.
No.
You know what I mean?
For crying out loud, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
Even from just a business point of view, like what you're going to risk the lives of your passengers and have to get sued because, diversity.
And how bad would it look if you did hire a diversity hire and it crashed? It looks terrible. It looks terrible on you. And then you make it like, all non-white pilots must suck. You know what I mean?
It's so exhausting because it's like, it's just taxing to have to walk through this all the time. But it's like, it's just going to create more racism. Stop doing this.
If I didn't know any better, and I don't, I'd say that was the plan. I would say that was the plan all along.
I don't know. Red Shirt's here. Hail, Red Shirt.
Hey, not just another Red Shirt. He's the Red Shirt, and I appreciate him being here.
The Red Shirt. Who else did I see? Oh, New Bomb Turk. Hail.
Hail, New Bomb Turk. Hail, Robert.
Robert, nice. I'm sure I'm going to get some lovely compliments from Robert today.
Yeah, Robert
He's
is
always very nice to me.
He's become the fill-in sentient dildo.
I swear it's like a 1-2 comedy team with those two.
Yeah,
Just getting smashed.
Yeah. Shout
out to Robert. It looks like I'm out of, I don't know, I can't tell, but it looks like my YouTube probation has lifted because I started to pick up subscribers again. So I'm like,
congrats.
Yeah. I mean, it's been so slow. It's crazy, but it's like, okay. So they started letting me get more subs again. Good. Instead of every day I log on with one less. I'm like, how? Why?
Yeah, I'm actually going to start to try to switch up my format. I haven't been streaming. I'm working on a review. I probably will do some fill-in streams because it's going to take me a while to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm working on I'm trying to get a long form, detailed review done to see how it does and see how I do and what people think of it. So
what's the review for?
I'm keeping that close to the vest.
Okay.
Even though some people have already guessed it. But yeah, because
I won't.
I'll say this: it's a negative review of a movie that a lot of people love.
Nice.
So
are you going to beat up Batman Begins?
No, I'm not. I'm not gonna. Not yet, at least. Not yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to limit my criticisms mostly to just woke stuff or like things that kind of destroyed the source material, because that I think is the most important front right now to talk about. And just something that I don't like or is kind of inept as a movie is not the kind of thing I'm going to attack right now because it just doesn't help.
It's understandable. But you know what? One thing this movie does is destroy the source material, and it got no criticism for it. So I gotta call it out and say, hey, guys, look, that's the plan. That's the plan. We'll see if it may suck. But hey, I got to get better at this.
Cool. I like to hear it. I like to hear that. Onward and upward, my friend.
Yeah.
I want to start doing some more of those game streams. It's tough though, because that's like a lot of time that's just kind of like, fucking around. Like it's a stream, it's entertainment, but it's like in terms of growing the channel, it's not really going to help. No. So it's like, should I be spending that time doing that, or should I be working on a video?
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to get better at videos. So hopefully I can do more of them. Because I was saying that I know it's inside baseball, guys, but it's like I feel like this is still a video platform, and most people are going to discover you from videos.
I think so. That's how and I always just try to have like a self-awareness. Like that's how I discovered other people.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
but we appreciate all you guys here who show up week after week. 20 weeks of this.
20 weeks, man. Well, 20 weeks.
Yeah. Because it was 1 week, also technically 21, but like.
No, because we're caught up because of the extra bonus show.
Oh, sure. You're right. We did do an extra show. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly 20 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was fun, man. That was a great interview. I hope we have another one. We're trying to get like comics will be on and stuff like that.
Yeah, and actually, there's a few guests I wanted to run by you. Like, would they be good?
Oh, okay.
I guess I'll probably do that off air.
Yeah, remind me of that.
Yeah.
I like having that. I mean, it's fun to have like that different conversation, especially like a different point of view from someone who's like not a dick about it.
Yeah.
It kind of, and also like it strengthens our ability to discuss them.
Yeah, and I mean he has certain point of views that we agree with, certain point of views we probably don't, but he was willing to come on and just express his opinion. Obviously, we're talking about Robert Meyer Burnett. It was a great interview. Hopefully, you guys saw it. I think it's on my channel, and the clips are all on my channel. Please check it out. Yeah,
if you haven't seen it, it was honestly a great conversation. Like I would listen to it if it wasn't me. So it was pretty cool.
Absolutely. I actually got one more clip I need to release from that.
Right on. Code Holo said he's on the way to the gym listening to the dynamic duo. Lol, what's up, y'all? Hail. Hail. Hey. Thanks, brother. Thanks for the support.
Appreciate it.
Fucking A. Means a lot. Means a
kill it in the gym, Code Holo. Kill it in the gym.
Yeah, crush it. Murder it. All right. So you want to talk about the first? Well, okay. So Black Widow came out.
Okay. Yeah, let's get in that. Is it out yet, or is it out? I know the spoilers are. I think it comes out.
Is it not out?
It either comes out like in a couple days.
I thought it was.
Or it could be. It could have already been like pre. You know how they do like the.
Let me see. I got showtimes. And Thursday, July 8th. Oh, it's not out July for a while. 8th. Damn.
That's a week.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it came out this week. I thought it was coming out like tomorrow.
This is just what I have here.
Okay.
Maybe I don't know.
Oh, July 9th. You guys are right. Damn it. I thought it was out.
Damn.
I know the spoilers are out. So the story's been, people have saw it. So the official story has apparently been leaked.
I'm down to talk about that. I don't know.
Yeah,
if it's relevant, like I don't want to spoil it just to spoil it, but if it's like, yeah, Newborn Turks' reviewers have early access. Yeah.
That's what it is.
We should have early access. I mean, because we're a culture outlet.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm sure they'd love that when we just destroy everything they make.
I literally tell people not to spend money with Disney. So
dude, we expose their fraudulent motivations, and they're like, let's help them. Let's help them do that. Yeah.
You know what? We got 1,500 combined subscribers. Granted, a lot of those are the same people, but that doesn't matter. The numbers still are what they are. Yeah. So we got a nice little pull around here.
100%.
But still.
Yeah.
Still.
How can you spoil a dumpster fire? Snort to poop its wonders.
It's still going to make a lot of money. That's my prediction.
I'm curious about it, and it's the thing that is interesting to me is like I don't really give a shit. It looked pretty whack, like when I saw the trailer, like it looked pretty whack, like they were mocking Captain Russia or whatever the fuck it was, and it seemed like it seemed like girl power bullshit. But now it sounds like now that it's out or like it's people have seen it, it sounds mad woke, like intersectional as fuck.
Well, you know what? I'll give them this. This is what they promised. This is what fucking they've been saying for a while. The actual Scarlett Johansson, she said this last year before she felt too sexualized this year, which is
the audacity.
Bitch, if you weighed the same amount that I do, you would have never gotten a role.
No one would even know your name.
No.
Just stop it. Like it's so like whatever the opposite of grateful is, like just zero gratitude, zero humility. It's entitled, self-important. It's delusional, like just completely delusional. It's
also total opposite of self-awareness. Like you literally profited off of your most sexual, the most attractive you've ever been, and she's still attractive, mind you, but I'm sure she can see that day is coming where she's not going to be able to profit off it, and now her over sexualization is an issue. And it's like, she's not like this terrible actress, but she's not like some great actress of our time either. You know what I mean?
I mean, she had some incredible performances, but she's not really the type of actress that is like a Meryl Streep or someone who's like, like that's what they are, is just like, this performance machine. I mean, she's a movie star. Like she does, like movies that require her to work, but she doesn't have to it's not high art.
Yeah. Yeah. And so it's like, if you weren't attractive, you would have never been a movie star. You're not even like Melissa McCarthy entertaining. There was no way you would ever have been a movie star if you did not have the body that you had and still have. It just would not have happened.
I mean, and that was half of the interest, was how fucking hot this girl was.
Yeah.
And how she had this beauty about her. She wasn't even just like sexual, just so attractive. And also, so that draws you in to her performances. You care about them, and you you put yourself in there, and you know what I mean? It's like the whole thing. It's like you get to experience this beautiful woman. Like that's a big goddamn part of it. And like I'm sick of intersectionalists and people trying to devalue like female sexuality. It's extraordinarily
important. The male gaze.
We love it. They get things out of it. It's important for the propagation of the fucking species.
Well, hey, that's problematic. That's traditionalism. You're just an old fogey. How dare you want humans to still exist?
Yeah, exactly. That's funny. Yeah, I don't know. This is totally off topic, but it's just reminded me just like this whole like the world we live in. Did you know that dolphins evolved from like some kind of land mammal?
They left.
Yeah.
It's not humans said it's time to get the fuck out of here. We're going back to the ocean.
Deuces.
You got to figure this out.
Yeah, but I was fascinated by that. It was like it had like whiskers and hair and shit like that. I was like, that's a dolphin? Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
They left us and said we got to get out of here.
We're done. We're done.
I can't fault their decision.
Robert asks, so Matt, ScarJo or Anna? Who's Anna?
That Star Wars girl I'm thinking of, because last week.
Ooh. I mean, I like Anna, but I think I'd have to go ScarJo.
I'm actually thinking because ScarJo, I mean, she's still very cute, right?
I mean, you just have to do it just for that accomplishment
for the accomplishment.
Yeah. How do you not?
I do like gingers, man.
Is Anna?
She's the only one. It's ScarJo because the Black Widow they have her as a ginger.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, Anna's cute. I'm not.
Anna's real cute.
Anna's really cute.
She's real cute. I would probably like to date Anna because she'd probably be like based and cool to hang out with, and you know what I mean, would be dope. But I mean, just for like the accomplishment, like, come on, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, we break it down like that. Yeah.
You got to. Scar fucking Joe. Yeah, the Scar Joe merit badge. Yeah, exactly. That's in there. Hail, by the way. Hello.
Hail got in there. Yeah. Appreciate in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, like and share because sharing is caring, and we like you. Want you to like us too. So please,
absolutely,
hit the like button.
And feel free to do it anonymously if you don't want your personal life and family and friends to know you watch such lunatics. You know what I mean? Won't be offended. So I don't really care about this movie at all. Like, I'm not even the biggest Marvel guy. Like, I'll watch all the movies because they're super fun, but like I don't understand Black Widow or Hawkeye in the Avengers at all. They're
Hawkeye's always made no sense.
None.
I could at least live with Black Widow. Okay, you have enough guns and gadgets, I guess. It's like the Punisher, I guess.
But then she's as good as like a military like a special forces kind of military person, like how good could she possibly be to be a superhero? Like,
yeah.
Don't we also have Navy SEALs and shit? Like what they can, she can help the superheroes, but SEAL Team 6 can't.
Yeah.
What?
That's a good point. But like,
why?
Hawkeye really threw me off. Like, fucking arrows, brother. Really? It's cool in the comics.
It is.
Crazy arrows and shit, and you could, but no.
There's a reason militaries no longer use archery.
I mean, listen, in a shit hits the fan post-apocalyptic world, archery is a very valuable skill. You can make your own arrows, but like, no.
Yeah.
No.
Not when we're talking about war level conflicts.
How are you fighting Thanos with fucking arrows?
That's so ridiculous. And it's like, okay, fine. But it's like, well, I never understood why, like, they gave Spider-Man an Iron Man suit. Why wouldn't they give Black Widow and fucking Hawkeye
suits? Yeah.
Why not? Or some super soldier serum or some shit. Like, I don't get them. And so it's like the idea of her having her own movie is like, okay. I mean, the fans are a big fan. Like, they like her. Like the real Marvel fans. Yeah, it's a lot to do with it. People always they're trying to downplay it. It's like, that's why she's fucking there.
Yeah.
Anyway, so now the idea that it's going to be like a woke intersectional mess is kind of, I don't know. Do you care?
No. I mean, mainly because I know it's going to make a lot of money regardless. Normies are not smart enough to what's going on. They're just waking up if they know it all.
Mm-hmm.
And the Marvel brand, it's been 2 years. Fast and the Furious just made $70 million. They'll probably match or do better. I feel like there's a return. People are fighting to return to normalcy, even though I know they're locking down certain parts of the world. But at least here in the States, there's a fight to return to normalcy. Even the NBA ratings, there's a funny thing. LeBron got eliminated and the ratings went back up. That's great.
That's funny.
But there's just this want for normalcy, and there haven't been a Marvel movie in 2 years. And I think people just want to go to the movies, eat popcorn, and watch a Marvel movie, and they don't give a fuck.
That's not a bad point, dude. And I think we can almost kind of forgive it if it does become successful for that exact reason.
Yeah.
That it's not necessarily representative of what the fans want. It's just more about timing.
Yeah.
How is Fast 9 doing, or F9 or whatever the fuck it's called?
How
is
that?
Made
like 70 the first week here, and it's made a few hundred in China or whatever. And apparently underachieved to make that couple hundred or whatever it made in China.
Really?
Because they the previous ones that did more. Space Jam's coming out. Like, I don't think that's gonna be.
Oh yeah.
There's not people. It's summer movie season, damn it, and they're going to see their summer movies whether they're there or not.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, people are just gonna go. They got to do something. I mean, I've talked to people because I work at the restaurant, at a bar, and people, all the time are coming out, and they're just so happy to be out.
Yeah,
They don't care.
absolutely.
Yeah, they're just excited to go do anything.
Yeah.
And so
Shit. Even me, just to go out. I should start a new job and just to work in the office with humans. It's like, oh yeah, I used to work around people because I haven't for a year and a half.
Yeah, it's weird, man. It's like I had to like relearn how to be social again and like comfortable around people all the time because it's like didn't have to. I fucking you guys and the two dudes I worked with at the bakery, and like that was my whole world.
Yeah.
I never fucking I didn't interact with people anymore. It was all, fucking behind a mask. Everyone's like on edge. No one's really talking. What? Can't hear you. Just it's very weird.
Yeah. Buzz, such a dildo.
Matt goes bareback as a barback. That's pretty funny. Pretty brutal. Robert Carr's in space. We're not going to space, mate.
Yeah.
Eric K.
What up, brother? Hey, Eric K. Wrench King of all wrenches. Appreciate you being here, man.
Yeah. So yeah. As far as the feminism thing, I think it'll be interesting to see what the reaction is. Like when the fan, because I'm not like, once again, we're so far ahead of this shit anyway that it's like, oh, is it woke? Really?
Yeah.
Like shocker. But it's like, what are the fans going to do? What are the normies going to do? How are they going to respond to this? Are they going to be like, yay, more bullshit? Or are they going to be like, oh, I don't like this?
That's a good question. And how woke is it to them? Because I like Captain Marvel. I don't like normies don't talk about Captain Marvel at all.
No, normies did not like that.
But they also didn't go, oh, this is a woke like they know what Last Jedi, and maybe this could be MCU's Last Jedi moment where a bunch of people realize something's wrong at once. But I don't know.
And it could be. I don't know, but a lot of people still don't fucking get it. Like I'm on meme sites and stuff, and people are like, there will be some kind of trans thing or something like that, and they'll be like, this only exists on the internet. Like, go into the real world and don't worry about this. It's like, no, this is where it all starts, and then the real world gets affected by it. This is not Ascension Dildos here. What's up, homie?
Yeah, buzz.
But that's where it all starts. It is the real world. This is
becoming the real world,
100%. But people still want to, keep their head in the sand. They want to pretend it's just this isolated thing. It's just some people, loud on Twitter. Who really cares? Like those people who are loud on Twitter affect culture and they affect government.
Yeah. Well, I think they're used to be an excuse for what the government already wants to do.
Sure.
Because they're definitely, hey, I'm banned off Twitter, guys. So shout out to that. And I'm not going back. Like my man said on Heat, I'm not going back. I'm not doing it.
What up?
So find me on Minds. But like I don't know. We got to try to push all platforms. But yeah, it does come off the internet. Now the thing is, I do think we could sometimes see the forest or not be able to see the forest from the trees just because we're so far in it. And
you mean us personally, or
us personally, us in the community, us in the fandom, people in the chat, the people who are more aware of it. Sometimes, cause I can't remember which panel I was on, but they were trying to like, oh, this movie might not be successful. And I'm like, listen, guy, this movie is still going to make hundreds of millions of dollars. It may not be as successful as a Marvel movie would have been 2 years ago, or as successful as this movie would have been 5 years ago when it should have been released, or should have been made and released. But it's still going to make them hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars.
We'll see. I mean, I don't think it's going to be $1 billion movie.
No, but it'll probably do. My guess is like 600, 700 million.
Yeah, this is going to be so interesting to watch because it's going to be like, like I said, I don't even fucking care about Black Widow. Even if it was great, it would take a lot for me to be interested. But now I'm like the people that are, but want to go, like, is this going to have, like, will people look the other way for the wokeness, basically?
That's the question. That is the question.
That really is. And I'm very curious to see how this develops because this is an anomaly as far as this stuff's concerned. Like, Captain Marvel made $1 billion or whatever, but like everyone was just like, ugh. Yeah. Who are like everyone, like the memes that woman got. I mean, it was so brutal and just like, it was obviously a farce. Like they sandwiched it between the two big movies, and people hated it. They don't want more of it. So much so that Brie Larson's it's not even called Captain Marvel 2.
Yes, the Marvels. They took her off of the title.
Yeah, like that's how poorly received it is, even though it made $1 billion. So this one, I'm curious. People might just look the other way. I mean,
there's some funky with that movie.
Well, yeah. I mean, there also because Fast 9 came out as well, which is apparently insane. But I mean, like, so what? It's something. If your idea is to just go to the movies to do something, well, that's out too. You don't need to necessarily suffer through this.
True, that's true. And who knows? Fast and the Furious is also a beloved franchise. It's a beloved franchise, and it still has steam. It still has fucking steam.
It's one of the weirdest ones ever because even when it came out, it was like a novelty, kind of like, oh, this is sort of fun, like tuner cars, whatever. But it was never serious. Like, they're bank robbery, steal trucks.
I think that's the thing. It knows what it is, and everyone knows what a Fast and the Furious movie is. I'm not a big Fast and Furious guy. But people want dumb, fun entertainment. Fast and the Furious, that formula, how intersectional can you get? You already had Michelle Rodriguez in there at one point. You can't really, you might have a few girls kick a few like 400-pound guys' ass, but that's probably already happened.
Yeah,
because
who cares?
Fucking cars fly. Like everything is wacky in this universe. So it's like you can't. There's nothing to. You can't destroy something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, cars fly.
Are there supposed to be cars in fucking space?
I think so. It's what we talked about on Monday. I guess like what they did is they turned like this crappy old 80s car into like some kind of a rocket or something, and it hit a satellite. That's how they saved the day. I don't know. It's
sounds awesome. I was thinking you want to see it. Like what?
Yeah,
they turned an 80s car into a rocket and satellite. Yeah, I do want to see this stuff blows up.
I mean, I so want to see it.
Yeah, that's what people want. People still want a dumb, fun, turn your head off and go into a different world action film.
The Wake Downs comment is great. F9 is about as over the top as they could get. They cranked it up to 11 and left it there.
Man,
awesome.
That's what people want.
They swung. I saw like a clip of him swinging across the canyon, like on the he as like a Tarzan, but in a car. Fucking amazing! What?
Of course.
How do you pitch these ideas to other working professionals? I don't get it.
I think with the Fast and Furious, it's something that escalates on itself. After they've already crossed that point of no return. Like, you can't believe this is the same series. Like, the laws of physics were like this in the very first one, where it was sort of grounded and like, no, this becomes something totally different.
Well, that's what I mean. It was like kind of a thin concept to begin with. The idea that it was even successful was kind of lucky. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't like a well-researched, like compelling movie. It was just like a dumb street racing movie. And so then when you're like a second one, you're like, okay. And then somehow they've managed to just stay alive. I don't know. I used to like them. I used to think they were fun, but they were more like a guilty pleasure,
Yeah. I checked out after Tokyo Drift because I'm like, this is just ridiculous.
Who cares?
Now I kind of want to check back in.
Now I kind of want to go back. Yeah.
It's so absurd. I mean, it's escapism. It sounds like escapism. Doesn't sound necessarily good.
No.
Doesn't sound like competently done.
No.
But
no, not at all.
It sounds like I get to be in a different world that isn't this one.
That's
and
true.
We don't always get that anymore.
I mean, Eric K says Fast and Furious is just dumb, not even dumb fun. You cannot have two cars going opposite directions and someone jump out and hit the other's windshield and not have his body liquidized.
Oh my God, the laws of physics don't matter in that series at all.
I haven't seen it. I'd like to see what the tone is like. I mean, it's obviously it's ridiculous, but there is something into his point though, because neither one of us, I think, enjoyed Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, no.
And we wanted it to just be dumb fun, and it just wasn't. It wasn't dumb enough. It was just like, what are you doing?
They tried to be smarter than what they really were.
And it was really poorly executed because it was like in Ocean's 11. Like that movie always disappointed me because like you don't realize the bank robbery is happening until like, because he's like narrating it and then they actually did it. You're like, wait, what? Like the payoff that you're there to experience was very like diluted.
I like Ocean's 11.
I mean, it's fine. I'm just saying that like it has this sort of structural flaw, like the way the Mortal Kombat thing did. You're like, oh, this is it. This is the big fight now. Oh,
I get what you mean that you didn't see I guess.
was waiting for the fucking tournament to start, and then and that never happened. And now I'm like, oh wait, so this is what I'm supposed to be enjoying right now? Oh, okay. It throw me off, you know?
Yeah, I guess you're not wrong that you come for a bank robbery and then you get it, but you don't get it when you think you do. But I guess the reveal of that is the draw to me. It's like, okay, it paid off in a different way than I expected. I was satisfied with that payoff that we got.
What I meant though is just I use that as a parallel to the Mortal Kombat.
I do get what you're saying.
Okay,
but I guess I'm just to defend that. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Let's read this review.
Yeah.
Apparently it's so intersectional. We're gonna get some lessons, and men are gonna scream in the audience. Apparently, is what I read. Why would you make something that has like a 90% male audience and attack them? Why would you do that?
You know, something that is on the internet, the idea that everyone hates men. That is some internet, the assumption. I mean, you know how they assume, men, those man babies are going to hate it. Or the fucking, everyone remembers those, I think it's Charlie Angels 2019, where it says white men are going to hate this. And then after it bombs, why didn't white men see this? And it's like,
I love that.
The same, it has the exact same picture by the exact same, not the same writer, but same company, same rag or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just like.
Robert makes a real good point. At least it wasn't a bank heist with zombies. Good point. Good point. I mean, Mortal Kombat was like, you know, Citizen Kane compared to Army of the Dead. That was fucking awful. All righty. Bad accents abound and no. Oh wait, let's see. Black Widow review. Johansson and Pooh.
I think Pew. I'm going with Pew.
Okay. Pooh. Share banter and badass fights in solid Bourne meets Marvel romp. First MCU movie in over a year gets the job done. It's also by MCU standards downright quaint. Bad accents abound and no amount of fun can salvage the third act cliche of a giant burning object falling from the sky. But overall, Black Widow amounts to a satisfying addition to the Bourne Identity franchise. This guy thinks he's clever. Of course,
smart.
Yeah, it's actually a solid beginning to the latest cycle of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But the appeal of the MCU has always stemmed from the way it plays off existing formulas with dollops of spruced up action strewn throughout. Oh, this guy sucks. What a pretentious dickhole. Dollops of shut up.
He has a lot of student debt, so he's going to use every fucking creative word to make sure you know he went to college.
Yeah, I want him to talk about the feminism part, though. Where do we get into how feminist it is? Come on now. Give us what we want. Give us what we came here for, you fucking NPC.
Lord, how much writing these guys have to do?
I don't know. That's a lot. I thought he said, because fucking comics shared this one. There we go. Okay. Needless to say, it does a far better job than the rah-rah gesture at the end of Endgame to play up its feminist leanings. Black Widow not only passes the Bechdel test.
Oh, boy.
It forces men to squirm as it puts them in their place.
I wasn't going to watch this.
Hey, Eric, I got news for you, you beta cuck. You're a fucking man. Like, you're a man. What is this? Oh,
a lot of people are into their wife getting banged by another man.
It really is.
He's one of them. And I'm not joking when I say, like, some of these motherfuckers really do have that fetish and really do have that energy of like hating themselves for being men and just thinking themselves like lesser than, and they project that on other people.
I'm not gonna kink shame you. If that's hot for you, that's fine. But it's this like,
and we're not talking about you, Eric K. We're talking about the Eric Ruther, by the way.
Right, not Eric. Eric K is a real man. No. I mean, like, all I mean is just this kind of like this apologetic. You know, we need our medicine. The women are right. Kind of worldview. It's like, how pathetic are you? Like, you can't stand up for what? So, are you saying that you're bad and you need someone? Like, are you bad, Eric? Like, do you need to go to therapy? Like, why would you go with this shit?
A lot of these motherfuckers do need therapy. My thing is this: what is this? Where is this society where like women, like what island did were women on by themselves living in and
everything was perfect?
And then they got invaded by men and things haven't been the same since. Like, what happened? That never happened. You know what I mean? That never happened.
It's like one of those animals that like is in the wrong biosphere and just ruins the.
Like we took a polar bear to the Amazon or some shit. Like women are not supposed to be like, no, women and men used to live together for all of human history.
Yeah.
And like, not saying everything's been, but like there have been cultures that celebrate and protected women and men, I guess, throughout history. It's not like if you look at what Spartans did in the fucking back in the day, they were like the baddest ass individuals on earth at that point, and they were like also one of the most liberal, so to speak, with how women were treated. And so it's like it's not like this mutually exclusive thing where masculinity or large displays of masculinity has just been at the cost and expense of women. That's the thing. Feminism though is at the expense of men, as you know,
and women too.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Women are not allowed to be attractive anymore.
No, and they're really being oppressed by all this new like LGBT shit that's like now men are also women, and so it's like women's they're like getting crushed by their own like lack of logic and their own like the world can be anything you want it to be. It's like that's not the case.
But like he's trying for the Olympics.
I just wanted to like, first of all, that this male writer is happy that it passes the Bechdel test, because the Bechdel test is essentially a representation metric. It's not about how women really exist, because if that was the case, because the Bechdel test says that a female character not talking about a male character like that that's very so that would imply that in the real world women don't talk about men. That's fucking ridiculous. So this is simply just a metric to make it as representational as they want it to be. And so, okay, awful. But B, could you imagine being a guy who's like rooting for that? Why would you be like that?
Maybe he touched somebody inappropriately. We're going to get into Bill Cosby a little later. Maybe he has a skeleton in his closet he doesn't want to pop out. Because that tends to also be the case. I don't get it, man.
I don't get it.
I don't, because you listen, there's nothing wrong with wanting women to be like well off and shit. Like you don't have, but it doesn't have to be at the expense of men. And it also
doesn't have to be unrealistic. Like that's the thing about so much of this shit. It's just completely unrealistic. It's like the feminists and the people who push all this shit, they don't even live the standards that they're trying to have everyone else live up to. That's the thing. It's like you're all this intersectionality. It's like you just date like a straight, successful white guy. Like you're not
absolutely.
I don't like, which is fine. Date who you want, but this whole idea
ALC
is crazy. It's just like what? So
white men are bad unless I'm bending over for them.
Yeah,
don't set that weight down. Don't do it. Don't you do it.
So it's just the idea that like they just got to root for this. It's just so repugnant. Like male feminists really creep me out.
I mean, there's a theory that male feminists are why feminists hate men, because they get these creepy grapists posing as feminists that they all men are like that. Oh, fuck.
What?
Wake down. He said done. All right, man. I'll see how it is.
Sentient dildo. Women are overrepresented in my basement, though. Let have them out with fun. It's fair after all. Oh, that's great. But he says like one standout bit finds the women neutralizing their annoying adopted dad with period talk, and he's just like, "Yes, queen, slay." What a pussy.
Adopted. So this man adopted them, was not blood to them, and still raised them. And you're just a piece of shit for being a father to people. What the fuck? Their
worldview is that we should be secondary to women, and everything that we do should be to raise them up.
Then.
No, we can't do that. There's oppression. There's this intrinsic misogyny or whatever. It's insane.
Am I relevant or not? Do I matter or not? That's the thing.
Only in the sense that you serve her and you serve what they need. Like it's just the most self-centered, disgusting worldview.
So you guys worship women. That's a religion, sir. That's not a you know what I mean? It's not.
It's weird. They worship them by hating on them all the time. Like they're so like they hate the fact that like their sexuality, like the way that their sexuality defines them in so many different ways, and like they hate the fact that they feel codependent on men. Like even though a lot of that is just intrinsic to being a human being, like women say like I don't need a man. It's like I need a woman.
Yeah.
Like, why does that make you liberated to not need your partner? I don't get that.
Because they were told that's the right thing to do, and they're just doing it.
Yeah, it's really
and
pathetic.
everybody, the culture. That's a cultural shift. That's a boiling frog thing. When you've pushed that so much, you push that 50, 60, 70 years, and now these women are growing third, fourth generation, and they just, this is what they think. That's
exactly
what their
right.
grandmother thought. So
It's
of course they think this.
It's a lot of the racism shit too. Like I talked to like black friends or whatever, and it's like, the big cause, the BLM cause, obviously, is the police thing. And it's like I've talked to so many black dudes who it's like they're like, well, I haven't had that personal experience with the cops, but like I know people have. It's like, well, were you there for those experiences? Like, are you sure that they were 100% in the right and were just being abused and pushed around? Like my buddy back in LA, who was like one of these super, like, he told me times when the cops helped him out when he was in a real tight spot. And I'm like, so you have good experiences with the police, dude. Don't let everyone else's worldview affect yours.
Yeah, and I have bad and negative experiences, and I'm not a guy who's was throwing that D like Rich voice. I wasn't a dope dealer, but like I've had shitty experiences with police. I've had a cop basically saved my life once, so it's like mixed. Mm-hmm. I've had some really just fucked up ones too, so it's like
that's what it is. I mean, it's like that's how I've always had.
But I wouldn't get rid of them. Like they do need to exist as a concept.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. They can be improved a lot. Yeah,
100%.
But like, because I think they've been grown too militaristic especially the past 10, 20 years. But for fucking to just say no, get away, all cops are bastards. And
no, but I mean, my point was more just the fact that like people will just allow other people's point of view to become their truth, and it's like, but that's not your experience, man. So why are you just believing that without scrutinizing it? Like, I can understand.
What happens. Go ahead.
No, I would say I can understand like opening your mind to other people's point of view, and sometimes you're not going to have the same experiences, so you can't, and you can't know. So it's like you have to listen sometimes, but like I don't have to just lockstep agree with it and believe it simply because you said it.
A lot of that agreement, and the same with feminism, a lot of these woke ideologies are a version of survivor's guilt. They feel like, oh, this person has been oppressed and I haven't, and I'm of this group, therefore I need to take up because I don't want to be seen as like, I feel guilty that I was not oppressed in the same way, and or I don't want to be seen as not a part of the group.
Yeah,
I don't want to be seen as not a true Scotsman, so therefore I'm going to do this or say that.
That's a really good point, dude. It's very interesting, and I think then that also becomes a part of your identity. Like that now, too. This is who I am. This is the kind of person I am. I'm going to fight to liberate women. I see it from women a lot, especially in like woke cities. Like I was talking with this girl. They came into work and they were talking about some like murder podcast or like one of those murder shows. I'm like, what the hell is with women and these like serial killer or like unsolved murder shows? Why do women gravitate towards that so much? And she was like, oh, it's because, we have to, because we could make the mistake and get killed. And I was just like, I mean, okay, I'm sure there's some truth in that, but that's not why you're fascinated by it. Like this isn't like a life. You're not like taking notes. Like, okay, how do I avoid these situations? Like now, and then you just.
I got a theory on why it is. There's a reason. There's a reason Ted Bundy got letters. You know what I mean? There's something. I don't get it. But there's something to that. And then I think a lot of people are just, a lot of people watch that murder shit just out of interest.
But it does seem like a female thing just to be common. And more the point was just that like her immediate answer was that, her victim status as a woman, you know what I mean? Like that's how she views the world. And it's just like, it's just so I hate those people because it's just like you can never have a real conversation because like they're like no
real people.
They're not real people.
They're NPCs. That's why to me they're this color gray and they have this drawn face. They're just an NPC with a download.
That's my favorite meme of all time.
Yeah,
it's the fucking best. It was such a huge strike back at all that shit. It was one of my favorite moments, like internet moments.
Yeah, and it's so fitting.
It was perfect. It was so perfect because it really was like they just have like this script. And everyone has this, and you can never go outside the script. It's like when they do, they start to blur out. So it's like, this is great. This is exactly.
It's literally NPCs.
Yeah, I was like, that's perfect. It was like dehumanizing. It's like really.
You're
Everything is,
dehumanizing yourself by not being an individual.
and you dehumanize people constantly. Like
Yeah,
you can't mentally respect someone who disagrees with you politically. That's dehumanizing them.
it is. It is.
Your
And
whole world
you
is
know,
like that.
the whole
Go ahead,
world is
sorry.
doing that. Yeah, the whole world is different, and it's like that's why it's something also I don't want to do always to them. That's as much shit as we talk about the woke SJW idiots, we don't want to act like everybody's like that or everybody's insufferable. You know what I mean? Because that's dehumanizing. Or everybody who has a slightly liberal slant is like, you fucking libtard. Like, I don't want to go in that direction either. But it's just
No,
like, yeah,
but you got to be a human being about it too. I mean, like Robert Meyer Burnett, like how
there you go.
based he was about having the conversation. Like I don't think he didn't need us to agree with him to hang out. And I think that's really where it comes from, and he was able to discuss things like Thomas Sowell and shit. Like it was a real conversation. We have different opinions on the conclusions, but I'm not going to be like, fuck that guy for thinking differently than me.
Yeah.
Like, that's so weird. Like, could you imagine if the whole world thought exactly the same? Like that kind of scary.
How did we get to a point where that was normal? Like, oh, this person disagrees with me, therefore I'm not supposed to hang out with them ever again. It's like, what?
They get into this on like unsafe space. Like I guess it's like it's tactic. Like they do it a lot. Like it used to be the tactic was get to know your enemy, like know all the things that what their point of view on the world is, so you can like use it against them. But now the woke thing is like don't even go there and listen or look because it's so dangerous to us. So that's why they always say spreading harmful content and all that shit.
Yeah.
So I think that's the whole idea is to just like isolate and keep you in the little pod so that there's no dissent whatsoever.
Yeah. You said I think it's dangerous to their keeping you a part of the point of view because you might think differently if you heard their opinion. That's what's really the danger.
That's what it is. I mean, it's like that video you sent me with those educators having the discussion saying that essentially like people from African countries like can't critically think about isolated ideas.
Yeah, and it was so wild. Okay, there was
wow. I was like barely clear what her point was. I was like, but that sounded racist as fuck.
It was racist as fuck. It was okay. There was these black teachers, all three of them, black on black educator, and I think it's the April 20th video. Anthony Brian Logan, he did a video on it today, and they showed these teachers talking, and this lady fucking says, she said critical thinking is a European thing. Africans and African descendants can't think critically as well and don't think critically well. And I'm like, wow. So you literally are basically saying black people are less critical thinkers than every other race. Not only that, the most ironic part about this is African immigrants do better in school than black kids by like a lot. So like African immigrants when they come here actually do better. They might even do better. They do really well. In fact, I think they're immigrants in general tend to do better than we do.
Yeah, but that's what's just so goddamn frustrating about this whole thing is that like it's not, you're not allowed to be based. You're not allowed to use like the real world as evidence to prove a point or to come to a new conclusion. Like you have to agree with the way they say it is.
Yeah. You
can't use like evidence, like cultural stuff or statistics or any, like it's like any of that is like white supremacy or racism or whatever the fuck it is. It's always like, but I'm just basing this out of the real world. I'm just pulling out what I see, what's provable.
Yeah. And this is another reason why the education system is a joke, a complete fucking joke. Because like this person is teaching kids. You know what I mean? This person who believes, she's a black person who believes black people can't think critically. And she's teaching kids the same thing.
Yeah, and I bet she's got some fucked up ideas about white people.
Yeah, I'm sure she does. And I bet you she's been fucked by a white man very recently too.
That is the most interesting angle. I've never heard that one.
It's true, man. Lori Lightfoot. I don't have no white people in the press conference unless it's my wife. Like, what? You're married to a white person.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's that same thing. It was talking about with AOC or anyone else who's radical feminists, and they're all Meghan Markle. Oh, you're fucking dating. Well, he's not the prince anymore, but the Prince of England. It can only get so much whiter than that on Earth.
What and are also, you talking about? Man, like you're a famous actress.
No, you're not. You're famous for being fucked by the prince.
But she's famous now anyway.
Yeah.
It's like how can you be a victim? Like, I don't understand how that's possible.
You're victimizing us, Meghan Markle.
Yeah, like you're like a princess essentially, and you're like you're whining that you have it. It's like that's so insane. Like the amount of money and access and protection you have, that you're a victim. What a delusional, disgusting worldview you have.
Yeah, she's a piece of shit.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
I hate all celebrities and people that entitled.
I kind of do too. Yeah. All right. Black teachers suggest black students can't think analytically. During an anti-racist podcast of black educators, anti-racist, perfect. One of the participants...
Anti is silent, obviously.
Mm-hmm. And one of the participants suggested that black kids cannot think critically. She said that the concept of analytical/critical thinking is a Western European way of thinking and should not necessarily be applied to, quote, Africans. Oh, that is such a brutal worldview. I don't even know what to do. It's
insane.
That's insane.
If you had heard that worldview, you would assume a Ku Klux Klansman wrote it, right?
Yes, you would. That would be like justification. That'd be like justification for segregation, because it's like, listen, these Africans can't critically think in the same way that the white students can, so we have to have separate schools. I swear to God, that's what someone would say.
That probably was one of the fucking justifications, and now we have black teachers teaching black kids this. You're not smart as the white kids. You can't think as critically. You just can't. Trust me. I went to college and I'm in student debt, and also, I fuck a lot of white people, so I know. Wake down. Don't do it. Don't do it,
dude. But I watched this video. And like she kept saying like a we kind of thing, like as if it's like her and her black girlfriends are the metric and the bar for all African peoples.
Obviously.
Like it's your group of friends you're talking about, your family. That's not the entire black population of the world. Yeah, maybe you're too fucking stupid to critically think, but it's not universal.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I think educators don't think critically anymore, because they just take whatever the fuck they pay so much for this stupid ass degree. They spend all their time in college and they just, this is the new narrative, just like the NPC download. So this is what we think. So this is critical race theory. How does this help black children, miss?
All due respect, because my mom's a teacher and she's a great teacher. Like she's inspired a lot of kids over the years, and but she's an anomaly. Like I think a lot of teachers,
come for the tech.
Well, they were just really good students. Like they just showed up, didn't question anything, just did what they were supposed to do, did all the work, and then like went to college and then just kept doing it. Like, and then that's their worldview, and that's how they instruct kids. It's just like it's like that. I don't know. It's why it's like kind of a female thing, because there isn't enough. There's no rebellion in there. It's just kind of like, just show up. This is how it works. This is how you get approval. This is how, this is the system. And then they just go and they continue doing that. Yeah. They're not educating you at all.
Because they were indoctrinated, and they just want to indoctrinate you. And they just want to continue. And like you are right about that student thing. I didn't think about that. Because you're right. They just go to college and they like being in college, and then they're like, oh, now I'll teach. And they'll go back to school, and it's just for that same process of just not having to.
They like the structure. Exactly. And that's not a good environment for education. Like education's asking questions and learning and getting curious about the world and going outside the lines. This is just indoctrination. This is just rule following, like plug and play. You're not thinking.
Yeah. Newbound Turk has a regurgitation, not really teaching.
Exactly.
They regurgitate. They want you to regurgitate it back to them. They don't want you to think critically. Well, I agree with this, but what about that? No. Yeah. They don't even teach people regular skills. The education system is that's the smoking gun. If we want to find out a source, like there's shadow sources and whatever. Mm-hmm. But if you're talking about how do normal individuals become these crazy, like she was a little girl once. How did she grow up to be someone who's essentially self-loathing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
By the actual phrase of what she utters.
She's probably not that bright. And she probably, you know, because of her worldview, just gets a lot of validation. So instead of scrutinizing her own thoughts or her own process, she probably just, you know, oh, I mean, this is what it has to be. I mean, you know, because she can't think critically. It hurts her to think critically. So that must be how all Black people are.
Absolutely. And you have you're right about the validation, because whenever she's challenged, well, I'm a Black woman, and therefore I'm wrong. And if you are a Black woman, well, us sisters should stick together. You must be a house and work. You know what I mean? It's always.
I don't play that shit anymore either myself. Like I've had that arguments. I'm like, okay, but I'm alive too. I have eyes. I've got a functioning brain. Simply you being Black does not give you any kind of advantage in this discussion. Sorry, it doesn't.
Yeah. Because they're trying to get out of the argument. I would love to see her scrutinized by like parents of who she actually educates on what she said. Like people, I would love for a father or mother to say, "Hey, are you saying that my Black son or daughter cannot think critically, and if so, why?" Because that's not what we're teaching them. So why are you teaching them?
And this is New York. I don't know. New York has famously some of the worst education in the country. So it's like a 50% dropout rate or some crazy shit like that. Like almost no one who goes to high school graduates in New York City.
Yeah, as Nas said, they were paid just to show up and leave. No one succeed.
Yeah, and I guess if you have educators like this fucking idiot, you know, and maybe that makes sense. Maybe that's why. Maybe we found the evidence, the clues.
Yeah, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about, you always hear about these New York rappers. I mean, rappers in general, but it seemed particularly New York always told, oh yeah, the teacher said they wasn't going to be shit.
Mm-hmm.
No fucking wonder. It's teachers like this.
Teachers like this.
Telling every Black kid in New York, you can't be shit. Johnny or Jim or Jaquan, whatever. You fucking can't. Some Johnny and Jims, Johns.
No, but just the Jaquan at the end was funny.
Yeah.
No, it's true. I mean, yeah. All right. The two other panelists on the Zoom call did not say anything during her comments, but their body language looked quite uncomfortable. I don't know about that. The other girl was like nodding along with it, like,
the guy looked like he had a what the fuck did she just say moment? He had and he was just starting to drink, I think something.
Because he didn't really say anything. We can play the video.
Yeah, let's play the clip.
Oh, I'm gonna have to share the audio. Hold on.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Boomer. I can't believe you can't fix that in the middle. I feel like that's a problem with Streamlabs. We should send them feedback about that.
Yeah, some issues.
All right.
And I think Black people, we are relational people. We are people of context. Like it's very Western and European to dissect and analyze and take apart things, whereas Afrocentric.
Wow. I think there's a lot of Black scientists who would disagree with you.
Thomas Sowell himself would disagree with you.
I mean, come on. Like, there's got to be some biologists and virologists, and they're like, wait, hold on. What did you say I can't do?
Yeah. Neil deGrasse Tyson, how did he get his job?
The most prominent astrophysicist, he can't intellectualize these things. He only feels them. he feels space, and that's how he's so knowledgeable on it. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Are you kidding me?
Amazing.
Centric schooling or Afrocentric spirituality or African epistemology or ways of knowing, everything is connected. So this is why education is not working for so many students of color, because we are context-driven people. We can't tell a story without telling the 10 things that happened that led up.
He's nodding. So is she. Yeah. They agree.
Yeah.
I mean, they're definitely not saying no.
I mean,
we're context driven. What the fuck? Sorry.
Well, the guy did kind of raise the people's eyebrow when she said something. He just went with it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to just put, because like you could like if he's a Black male teacher, he probably knows if he challenges them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So black men are the white people of Black people.
Absolutely. So I couldn't tell you how he feels. He could just be like, I'm gonna make a business decision.
Yeah, that's true. We don't know. Like I said, he's definitely not denying it. But like, what the fuck does it mean that we are a context-driven people? What? Compared to who? What the fuck does that mean?
This means I went to school for a long time. I have student debt. but I got a teacher certificate. Therefore, I'm a teacher. And I'm so used to just saying shit because the class has to listen to me.
Yes.
And people just have to listen to me. So I'm never, ever challenged on anything I'll ever say ever.
Could you imagine being a white student in one of her classes?
Goodness, I couldn't imagine being any student. You're fucked either way.
You're fucked either way. You're right. Because she'll probably just push you along if you're a person of color, and she'll probably single you out if you're white. Yeah, it's probably going to suck.
If you're a white male student that's not like completely beta, like the guy who wrote that article we were talking about earlier, you have to be like that. You cannot have any masculinity about you at all. If you were like 15, you'd be fucked. Like 15-year-old Matt, you're fucked.
You better. I mean, yeah, and like, I don't know, if you get like emasculated by the teacher, like all the dudes, you know what I mean, like around you, like how much that's going to make you a target outside of that class.
Yeah.
You know, you just showed how weak you are. Like they're going to get you. Like,
you gotta walk out on it. You gotta be an asshole. You have to be the class clown because otherwise you'd be destroyed.
Yeah, you'd have to like get suspended regularly because otherwise, like your life could actually be in danger. Yeah. Anthroparian, good point. Says she suffers from projection. I can't do it, so no one else can. That's exactly
pure projection.
What this is.
Even 100%. Talking about the way she tells. I mean, a lot of people tell stories with like that. Like, oh, you gotta have a setup. That's a personality trait. That's neither. It's just a personality trait. You know what I mean? Of people who like to tell stories and set it up. And if anything, it's probably more of a woman thing than a black thing.
Yeah, that's a great point. It is because like a lot of women tell stories and they just start going off on all these details that have nothing to do with what the end goal of the story is. It's like it's like
she kind of did right there.
Yeah, exactly. Like we need 10, 20 like what the fuck are you talking about? What does that mean? Like no specifics. Like how could you like what? What do you mean you need context? Who the fuck doesn't need context? Like what are you saying? Like, hey guys, there's this thing called a cell. What's a cell? Don't worry about it. Just remember this information. It's like everybody needs context. What? Oh God. Sencha Dildo makes a great point too. I love it when people assume all Africans are the same. Does she know how big and diverse Africa is?
It's a continent, not a country. Dumb motherfucker. Like, there's a lot of different countries, and some of those countries have different tribes. Some countries are in totally different states than others.
Mm-hmm.
And Elon Musk is an African American, so like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
like you sound so insane.
Oh, insane and racist.
Yes. Again, if a Klans person, if a white man said that, their lives would be over. Right? Not life should be over, but like they would be done. Especially in education, they ain't teaching nowhere.
The internet would have fucking exploded.
Yeah.
White supremacist makes racist generalization about all black people, whatever. Like it would be the story. I mean, it's like, but she says it and it's like she
wasn't even really news. If not for Anthony Brian Logan, I wouldn't know about it, and you guys probably wouldn't know about it as a result.
I didn't hear about that. So you said this was like a year ago, right?
Oh, not a year, a few months ago, apparently. But he just did a video on it today.
Fucking wild. All right, let's finish watching this.
Up to that moment, there's no such thing as like thinking isolation, isolating yourself from nature, from your family. Like it's just not part of our ways of knowing and being in the world.
So wait, how is it? I would love for her to explain how white people, that is how they think.
And then what does like, okay, if I'm telling a story about getting gas, what does my connection to nature have to do with that?
Well, also like while you're getting gas, and gasoline is a product derived from petroleum, which you get comes from under the ground. It's such all organic life that has become. It's like why would you need? I just can't understand really what her point is. I really don't get what
she doesn't have one. She doesn't have one. She's just, I'm an educator. I'm a teacher. No one can crap on my thoughts, and I'm just gonna ramble. And I'm just trying to blame what she was trying to do, because she probably didn't realize what the fuck she actually said.
I'm sure she didn't. No, 100% she didn't.
She has no clue what she actually said. And so what she's trying to do is say white men bad because black kids are doing bad in school. And so as a result,
that's a great point. You know what? That's a great point. She started with her conclusion and then just started working her way through it in some kind of crazy way of whatever came into her head. And then that's what the truth is. It's like, because it's exactly what the problem with their thinking is overall. The conclusion comes first. It's like backwards science.
Yes.
It's like, instead of taking all the evidence and coming to a conclusion, you have the conclusion. And the conclusion is white man bad, black people good, and the system's bad to black people. So let's find a way that Africans can't even function or thrive in this society. And inadvertently just said maybe the most racist thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, you literally said black people are too dumb to achieve things.
That's exactly what she said.
That's literally what you said. But she's too fucking dumb to realize it.
Yeah.
And you can actually, it's
I
funny.
think they are, so are they. Like the other two, I think, are pretty stupid too, because it's like they didn't say, "Hey, wait, hold on a second."
You're the whoa. What did you say? Could you play that back? Like you could you? Hey, what are you saying? What are you trying to imply? Like,
yeah,
because it sounds like you said we're not smart enough, and that's not.
That's pretty much what I heard.
Yeah.
Oh. All right.
You know what it is? Do you remember, and the guys in the chat, in the chat, what was it, that Miss South Carolina, where they asked her about most people can't identify America on the map, or 10% of whatever the statistic was, and she said, why do you think that is? And she just rambles about the Iraq and all that. That's kind of what such as the Iraq and the poorer countries and America. And like,
it's the worst. It was the worst answer that's ever been given to any question ever.
That was kind of along those lines. That's what she just did.
And it's like the issues of access to maps. There's a critical maps shortage in the country. Yeah, and that's why people can't pick it out. Oh, God bless her. God bless her. All right, Wait, Anthroparian has no one told this meat popsicle she's stupid, she's not special, she's not a deep thinker, and just shut the fuck up. I just like to use the term meat popsicle.
I don't want to call it meat popsicle. Like that sounds like, hey, I think of like the meat hanging in Rocky's when he's training and shit. Like, but she's just very, very stupid.
Yeah, Sentinel. Yeah. Oh my God, she's literally invoking white nationalist race and IQ talking points.
That is literally what it is.
It's really what she's doing. It's amazing. It's like unbelievable because of how unaware she is at what she's saying.
It is.
It's amazing. It's pretty incredible.
And the sadder point is that neither of the people on that called her out, or at least question, to at least say, "Hey, wait, do you realize?" I can get if that's your friend, you don't want to like shit all over them, and you want to try to find a nice way around it, but you gotta say something. Like,
please,
something.
For the love of God, say something. I mean, unless you believe that, unless you think black people are too stupid to survive in school, that's concerning because you're an educator of a lot of black people, it being New York City. But I don't know what to do with that. I mean, like if that's your conclusion, it's like, congratulations, you should go join the Klan. They'd love to have you.
Yeah. Listen, the Klan has never been as effective as people like you are. They've never ever been as effective as people like her have become, the critical race idiots who are teaching. And it's sad, these are the people who are going to teach a lot of black kids.
Dude, racists watch this video like, I watched like the 92 Super Bowl or something like that. They're like, oh, here it comes. Yeah. Every time. I love it.
Yeah.
Like, it's here you have a black woman who's an educator, who's college educated, is now validating your like twisted racist worldview. And they'd be like, how much more proof do I need? You know what I mean? They said it themselves. It's just like, oh, God, you're an idiot. You are so stupid.
I guess Neil deGrasse Tyson has to give back his degree.
I guess so. Or maybe he could explain it to us how he somehow, against all odds,
he has a relational context with nature. Yeah. He can figure it out.
Yeah, it was always musical in the classroom. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Look at you clapping as you talk. Snortum Poopa says the Klan never got their ideas embraced by academia. Well, they do now.
Now they do.
That's academia's number one hit in the streets. Is CRT. It's, hey, you're not good enough if you're black or not white, and all you white people should hate yourselves for all the bad stuff your ancestors may have done, statistically unlikely have done. But
I mean, they say that like white supremacy is unprecedented and that it's on the rise. And you know what? Maybe they're fucking right.
Yeah.
Maybe Maybe they're
apparently
actually
there's something to it.
Who knew? Who knew they were right? I don't think they realized who was doing it, but
Nah.
yeah, sometimes you just gotta look in the mirror.
And now you don't have there's no Orange Man to blame. He's gone.
No, he's gone. But his legacy remains.
His legacy. Did he create idiots like this?
Uh-huh.
Maybe maybe it is his fault for funding black colleges to let you get a damn degree. I don't know where she went to school. But she went to school at a historically black college, then maybe you can blame him because he actually funded them, which no other president would do. And I'm not an Orange Man guy, but he did.
I mean, it's worth mentioning. That's the thing about all this stuff. Like, that's their problem. Their conclusion is Trump bad. So no matter what evidence comes their way, they have to conclude Trump bad. So it's like, why? Why would you have anything attached to that outcome? Like, just assess it as it happens. Is he bad or isn't he? Why do you have to be married to this like outcome, this conclusion? Whose idea is that and why?
Well, they were told to. And Sister Diddle said she went to a white liberal college. Probably. Is there anything other than that, by the way? Like, what else is there? What other colleges are there? I think there's independent, a few of them. But yeah.
We got 10 more seconds of this gold. So let's just get through it.
So when we tap into the ways that we understand the world, students are able to make wonderful connections and unleash their brilliance and their wisdom. And I think Black people, we are...
Okay. And I'm going to try to... There's something to be said about how ineffective the education system actually is. One statistic is how men in general of all races are doing worse and worse as time goes on in education and less and less in college.
Yep.
But even though somehow all men are still bad, they're still able to rule the world without college degrees.
It's amazing.
But because maybe trades are irrelevant. But like, I think she's trying to do a version of there's something wrong with the education system in general, but she's just so stupid, for lack of a better word.
And just committed to this outcome, like committed to the like oppression narrative and the way that the whole system has been rigged against her and her people, for this long. Like it's like she's clearly coming from that conclusion, which is rock solid and completely unquestionable. And so then everything that comes out after that has to be in service of that conclusion.
And here's the thing, like, I'm not somebody who goes too hard at other directions. Like, there's no racism in America at all. Because, like I said, I've had shitty experiences with cops. I still have, sometimes I'm seeing shadows, but I still have things in my head. But it's like, how are you supposed to get up in the morning if you think that there's a white supremacist around the corner every fucking day? Like, how do you I don't get how you're supposed to function like that.
I feel bad for people like that. Like, I think I mentioned this before, but like when Trump got elected in 2016, this girl that like I went to school with like had like a panic attack because she was so like, because she believed the narrative that this was going to somehow like validate more sexual assaults and rapes and stuff like that. Like somehow his presidency will encourage that. And that's how deeply she believed this bullshit that she had a full-on panic attack because of it. It's like, I feel terrible that you would allow this narrative to like get that deep inside you and trick you into believing this fucking garbage that just is not about you at all.
It shows how dangerous this shit is. Like people, this shit is real. It really is affecting people, infecting people.
It is, man. It's fucked up. It's like, there's part. You're to blame if you could critically think yourself. So at any point you can scrutinize this information and choose whether to agree with it or not. That's up to you. But it's like, there is kind of part of them that like, I think there's people that want to be victims or they want to be, they want to be sad like for something or, you know what I mean? Like there's this kind of like, it's crestfallen, like, I don't know.
Clout.
Sympathy cloud. Nice.
Because what it is like a part of it is just the social media. Social media introduced a new concept. Like people always want to be cool. People always want to be like, that's a natural thing. But something about clout, there's something extra. It's like an extra thing outside of it. Like it's like a fake version of fame, basically.
That's exactly right.
That has interjected everything. Like everyone wants some sort of little social media clout or some sort of. We're on YouTube now. You know what I mean? So like everybody wants some little bit, and so now like I have to get someone to pay attention to me in some way, and I can be a victim. There now, I got built-in sympathy points. And even if I get challenged by those evil Trump tards, there's a tension there, and there's something. There's something to be had with that. You know what I mean? So it's sympathy, clout, and it really just attention whoredom, and in this case, just downright stupidity.
Yeah, she's just dumb. And like that's the thing. Like, you can just see, like, once you start to dissect like why she's saying this, like where it's like, oh, okay, you're just an idiot. Like, but that's so dangerous because that means she's in charge of, like, she has the power to influence people's minds and discuss things and talk. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry to cut you off. How many kids has she destroyed and will she destroy as an educator?
I don't know. I bet it's a lot. I mean, it's got to be thousands.
Yeah, in New York.
Yeah,
I mean, it's every few semesters, it's thousands of kids.
Brand new crop of kids. So I mean, depending on how they do their schedule, it could be thousands in just a few years.
Yeah. And I see you guys mentioned AOC in the chat. Listen, AOC is one of the most dangerous women on earth. She's one of the most dangerous human beings on earth, and she will be the chairman of the United States. I'm not sure we'll still have presidents.
The chairman.
But yeah,
I don't know. A lot of people hate her.
Hey, it doesn't matter. She gets to, you know what? A lot of people hated Trump. She gets the juices going. That's all you got to do. Once you get the people juices going, few people will vote for you.
She's so dumb. It
doesn't
unbelievable
matter.
How stupid she is.
You know why it doesn't matter? She's kind of hot. She's kind of fuckable.
Yes, that's exactly
she was
right.
way more fuckable when she was younger. She was hot.
I never found her hot, but I get it.
No, not as her existing, but like when she was in college, the little shit of her dance. I'm like, oh yeah, I'd fuck her. Fuck her brains out.
I mean, yeah, you'd fuck her. But that's like Patrice O'Neill says. Yeah, but that's not the point.
Yeah, that's not the point. And she's like I said, she's gonna be president one day. I'm already ready for it. But yeah.
I don't know. She there's a lot of hypocrisy too with like her and stuff like that. Like she drives like a Tesla and like has, all these things. It's just there's a lot of bullshit. Like
Eat the rich
until you're the rich, in which case then you have to redefine who the rich is.
Yeah, like she's definitely part of it. She's definitely the establishment.
It's just like when
establishment to you.
100%. And she's just like when the white girls, when everyone starts coming after them, they're like, "Hey, wait a minute! I thought we all agreed that white men were the problem, not white women.
Yeah.
What's going on here?" Like AOC, I think it's like she's like, "No. What I meant, when I said rich, what I meant was this kind of rich, not me. I don't have to do it. They have to do it."
Yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
Brutal. Do you want to read more of this article, or you want to just move on?
It's up to you. We kind of.
I feel like we got to the bottom of it. I mean, I think this is more of a blog than anything. ABL. I think that they're just kind of like, this is just going to be his opinion. Anthony Brian Logan.
Anthony Brian Logan. Shout out to him.
This is his. Oh, okay. This is the guy. This is the YouTuber.
He did the video and he's a YouTuber, but he's smart. What he does, he has his own blog, so he'll refer to his own write up on things to kind of
that's smart. No,
Bounty
in the Comments does the same thing.
Yep. Basically, that's what he does. He does his own write up instead of us, because we just use Bounty for a lot of stuff. Obviously,
John F. Trent.
Shout out to John F. Trent.
Shout out to John F. Trent, but his rhythms and the way he talks his videos kind of annoy me. To group all black students into one racial stereotype gives credence to the race realist crowd, and he every single sentence he ends it like that. Teaching will overcome it. It's like, John, break it up.
Yeah.
But hey, I mean, I'm a fan. I love it. I go to Bounty in the Comments all the time. Just say it. Sometimes I'm like, oh, John. Anyway, not to trash on another YouTuber whom I respect.
I love John F. Trent.
Something I noticed.
Yeah. Speaking of which, there are some articles on Bounty in the Comics that I thought we could talk about.
Yeah.
He reviews season 1, ep 4, the Nexus event for Loki. John F. Trent does.
You been watching Loki?
No, I don't have Disney Plus, and I don't even know. I'm sure I could figure out a way to sail the high seas, but I'm not. I don't care. I don't care. Like I'm not. I wouldn't, even if it was good. I don't think I'd watch it. Like I'm not interested.
The WandaVision. I gave WandaVision a legit chance, and that was such a burn.
But
a pure burn.
Yeah, I guess I didn't expect anything out of it. So like when it was entertaining for a little while, I was like, oh, well, this is fun. Who saw this coming? You know what I mean? But then it was like, yeah, it sucks. It's like, well, okay. I think everything they're going to make sucks. Like I'm shocked when it's not.
Those first few episodes and the potential for the X-Men really worked me. I was like, oh man, this is
Nah.
something that the first 2 episodes I was legitimately entertained and intrigued and like, whoa, it hit me so hard. I'm like, Marvel's trying something creative and innovative, and it just went to shit.
Yeah, I did. You know what? I felt the same way. I was like, they are trying something different. It's like kind of Lynchian. There's some sort of like, there's like a lack of exposition. I'm like, yeah, this is a bold take, but then they intersectionalize all over themselves.
Golly, that sucks because that could have been something special if they would have they follow through with the Lynchian vibe.
Robert's just smash or pass AOC. Honestly, and I don't want to sound like an asshole, I'd pass.
Man.
She annoys me too much. I can't get past it. Like, even like I said, because Brie, it's just like, you're an idiot. Like, who cares? You're just so desperate to be liked. Like, it doesn't like offend me on a deep level. AOC really bothers me because she's so smug.
I mean, don't ask me that question. You already know the answer, man. I'm not saying I'd be proud of it. And I'm like, yeah, but it's just like, I'd probably.
Sentient Dildo says he'd rather watch me working in the bakery than watch Loki. Listen, you'd learn something. Okay, I could teach you how to make some sourdough bread, buddy. I'm pretty good at it.
There you go.
Pretty good at it. Yeah, just live stream bakery. I don't know how. I don't know.
It might bring views.
Maybe. There's a lot of waiting. There's a lot of downtime, a lot of cleaning. But so we have that review, or we have there's a rumor article about Indiana Jones production to halt for 3 months after he hurt himself, or Image Comics denies plans to revive Fell, confirms they will not work with Warren Ellis, quote, until he has made amends with his sexual misconduct accusers. Which one's catching your eye?
Towards Indy 5. Because the Warren Ellis thing, maybe, if we wanted to lean into the Cosby thing, we could go off of that. Not just the Cosby. I don't have my Pistons hat. Fucking one of the best Pistons of all time. He's Chauncey Billups. He's about to become a coach, or was supposed to become a coach, but now some grape charge from the 90s is coming back to haunt him. So
which one is this?
It's a sports guy. It's a Chauncey Billups.
Yeah,
he's supposed to be the coach of the Portland Trailblazers.
Oh,
he helped win a title.
I didn't know that's what that was.
Yeah, so he was supposed to be. He just got hired as the coach. Or was supposed to be hired as a coach of the Portland Trailblazers. I never really knew about these charges while he was playing.
I didn't hear about it.
And it's now a thing because 20 years ago, some girl accused him and a few players of rape. I wasn't there. I'm not saying it. And apparently she did at the time, did go to the police. So there's that. So it wasn't like totally, but it's coming back up now because he's the coach in Portland out of all places. So now
that makes sense.
Yep. I don't know if he was coaching anywhere else, if this would be a story, but
I'm kind of curious about this. Let's you know what? Let's do it. Why not?
All right.
And I know we just pitched 3 other things, but now I'm kind of curious because I remember I like Chauncey Billups.
Yeah,
he was a good player.
He was good. He was good for Detroit, good for Denver. Cool player.
All right. Well, we can use the ESPN.
Yeah.
Oh, Bleacher Report. Oh, does
Outkick have something on it?
Outkick?
Yeah, they're more based, so to speak, of the sports.
Not that I see. I was thinking, what's the other one that
Barstool?
Barstool, yeah. Is there like a Barstool article?
Yeah, we might have to go with House of Mouse Espen. Surprised. And it's kind of like, it's not a massive story, and maybe I'm a little close to it being a Detroit fan, and he's one of our favorite Pistons, if not my favorite Piston overall. I just think it's like, the thing that's bullshit is this, like, 20 years after the fact, we're going to, like, throw somebody's name under the mud. And I'm not trying to be like, I'm not trying to victim blame. I don't know what happened, actually. We weren't there. But it's just like, really? 20 years later, fucking Ben Roethlisberger's still the quarterback in fucking Pittsburgh. He's had a couple incidents.
Had a few.
He had a few little whispers about him. Like, what are we doing? And again, maybe this isn't an issue if he was coaching the Knicks. Maybe this isn't an issue if he's coaching Boston or something, but he's coaching fucking Portland.
I don't know. So it says the Portland Trailblazers are avoiding sexual assault questions related to new head coach Chauncey Billups, like their postseason wins. Upon being introduced as head coach, Billups was asked about sexual assault allegations made against him in '97. Blazers PR prevented the new coach from responding. Oh, wow. Oh wait, let's just watch it then.
Uh,
Let's share the audio. That's this is interesting to me. I don't know if it's as like culture crime fightery as we normally do.
It's culture. I mean, it's extended pop culture because it's not like the core stuff.
I don't know. I like this is fun.
Hi, Jason Quick with The Athletic. You said the 1997 incident shaped you in unbelievable ways. Can you maybe elaborate on that and how it helped shape you?
Jason, we appreciate your question. We've addressed this. It's been asked and answered. So happy to move on to the next question here, Aaron.
Hi, Jason.
Damn.
Yes.
She was just not having it.
This lady did it, by the way.
Yeah. She was just not having it.
Yeah.
That's her job,
Yeah, I know. Go ahead.
An off-camera staffer wastes no time to fight through the question, saying we've addressed this, it's been answered, blah, blah, blah. So we're happy. So for his part, Billups appeared to be ready and willing to answer the question before being shot down. The question asked of Jason Quick of The Athletic, was valid and did not appear to be a way to bait Billups into an uncomfortable response. Yeah, that's true. What do you think?
Well, not as become a story. Somebody does have to ask. That part is kind of like the media is to do it after it becomes a story. And I'm not sure if this was the catalyst for it to become a story or whichever order. But it is like they have to ask because it's a thing. But I guess it's the idea that it's even a thing. This was never a thing. I didn't even know about this shit when he was playing. So you went 20 years, and maybe it was out there, but I didn't see it. And I
don't know. But there also isn't any information on it. Like, did he do it?
I think at the time he said he got head from her, and it was just like, I don't know. It seemed I hate saying commenting because like I don't want to be like protecting a predator. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't.
I'm like,
it's just.
I don't know. That's where I'm coming from. So I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. You know what I mean? There's two people that know what happened, and well, I mean, you can always prove it or whatever. But I don't know. I'm just curious. Like, I just want to know, like, is it valid? What even happened? Like, was it just an allegation? Was there no criminal charges were brought in the 97 case? Okay, but he settled civil.
That doesn't mean anything though, because you would settle if after charges get dropped, but you don't want the person going everywhere saying shit. You're like, okay, listen, if I was innocent, I could still see myself settling just to get it to go away.
Well, that's the thing about lawsuits. That's why so many people sue billionaires and stuff like that, because most of the time for the person being sued, it's cheaper to just settle. Yeah,
it's cheaper to settle than fight. So,
so you just settle and get out of it, just so you don't have to deal with it. Not because you're admitting guilt. It's just I don't want to deal with this. I want to have to prove, $100,000, $300,000 later that I didn't rape you when I can just get rid of you for 50.
Yeah. And here's 50,000. Just go away.
Just go away.
Go away now. Like
the critical drinker. Yeah. You know what? I don't know. This ESPN article is better.
All right, let's go with that.
Shockingly,
every now and again,
Well, it's weird because they're woke as fuck. ESPN, Disney, more Disney. Blazers coach Chauncey Billups addressing. Okay, we know all this. The Portland Trailblazers. Billups won the job. Okay, and they say we commissioned our own independent investigation into the incident in question. The findings of that investigation corroborated Chauncey's recollection with the events that nothing non-consensual happened. We stand by Chauncey, everyone in the organization, and believe he's the right person to be our head coach and the right choice to be an ambassador into the Portland community everyone is accustomed to. No criminal charges were brought in the 97 case. Billups settled civilly.
Yeah. My question is, are we going to have the standard that if you've ever had an accusation, your life is just over and you're not allowed to live? Well, that's not a fair standard. Or you're not allowed to achieve anything.
But is that what's happening? He didn't lose his job.
He didn't. He hasn't. At least
so. It's really more just a story than anything. It's not like... You know what I mean? It's just the media trying to drum up something to talk about.
True. But I guess that's my feeling of where it's going. And apparently, I think Jason Kidd was almost going to be their coach, but he had like a domestic dispute, which actually went both ways. The reporting doesn't say that, but like he got beat by his wife too. Jason Kidd did.
It's usually both ways. It's very rarely.
It was definitely both because she had been charged with incidents where it was clear that she was the aggressor.
The narrative is always that it's the man's fault, but generally it's a shared thing.
Yeah. And so, but he took a different job. He didn't take Portland. So I think a lot of it has to do with the location. I think if that job was anywhere else, this probably wouldn't even be a story. But because it's Portland and they're woke, we love women, even though women get naked for protests, which I don't understand.
Who can figure it out? I mean,
getting sympathy clout.
Yeah. All right. Well, it just sounds like some bullshit. That just sounds like a false accusation. It was just, he probably just called her a bitch or didn't call her back or, took her for granted. And she's like, hey, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to ruin your life. And oopsie.
And that's basically that's what I think.
Dude, you know what? That's the other side of that shit you never really think about. Because you think about like, oh man, it must be so great being like, LeBron, you just fucking smashing all tens all day. You know what I mean? Like you just get to have the hottest chicks in the world. But then there's also like there's that angle on it where, like this one might ruin your life. You might try to get pregnant. You know what I mean? There's all this shit that like goes into it.
Her out.
Yeah, like or just lie to you, just say she's on the pill, and you just like go with it, and then all of a sudden I'm pregnant. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, that's just like predatory shit from women.
Yeah, and I mean these guys are definitely targets. A lot of these guys get baby mamas and then get more baby mamas because after they get one, it's like, oh, I could be a baby mama too.
Absolutely, they're trying to get paid, and then there's probably I think a lot of it's probably like these guys are so used to just getting free pussy that like every once in a while a girl comes along who's just like, well, you're gonna have to take me out, and there's like, all right, I'm leaving, and then they get all upset, like who knows? No one's ever in these like no one's ever in these rooms, but everyone's so sure they know what happened. Yeah,
and that's why it's fucked up. I don't like somebody getting their life attempted. You're right, nothing actually has happened yet, but like just the attempt on someone's career 20 years after the fact. And it's really not even by her as much as the media. It's just
that's
the media.
True. No, it's not like she tweeted about it or something.
Yeah, it's like the media bringing this up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. I think that kind of is a perfect segue into the Image comic story because I do kind of want to, because this is sort of
let's talk about it. Let's transition to that.
So much of this, it really is just so political. Like it's not even about the victims. It's really just about like power. And using these stories to move the needle. I mean, that's like so much. Like Gary talks about it all the time with like the Me Too Time's Up. How much that was like J.J. Abrams like Hollywood coup.
Yeah,
they just used it as a way to just like pole vault into like powerful positions.
Yeah, that's all they did. I mean, people from Time's Up, I think, had a deal with Warner. And Time's Up was shown to have given more money to themselves than any Victims and shit like that.
Harold
Darius Munchausen. I was looking at the wake now.
Yeah.
I never heard. He said Dave Foley spent a year in prison over insane alimony laws during his divorce. He does a podcast. Shit, don't get married, kids.
Could you imagine going to fucking jail because you didn't pay your ex-wife? That's some shit, dude. People. It's amazing that women think that this country is sexist against them. It's unreal.
Against them.
Yeah.
Like, dude.
Like I have to pay you because I used to fuck you.
Yes.
What?
And we just talked about the turkey baster baby. There are regular guys now having to deal with that. Oh, you make $100K? Oh, you drive a Tesla, do you? Mm-hmm. Guess what? You know what? Katie wants a Tesla too. So
that's funny. Katie wants a Tesla too. That's great. Image Comics denies plans to revive Fell, confirms they will not work with Warren Ellis until he's made amends with his sexual misconduct accusers.
What is he supposed to do?
Well, let's find out.
He should have handed them gift baskets. That's why Jeter does it.
That's why he does it. That's why he's fucking Teflon man. No one, just untouchable. Somehow banged every single broad in New York and beloved. Yeah. This guy makes one misstep. He's a rapist. Following the apparent announcement that writer Warren Ellis and artist Ben Templesmith would be returning to Image Comics in order to finish out their popular series Fell, which I don't know anything about, the publisher has clarified that they currently have no plans to work with the veteran comic book writer, quote, until he has made amends with those who accused the veteran comic book writer of sexual misconduct last year. So now they just accused it. Doesn't mean there's any proof. It's
Yeah.
just the events which prompted Image's first statement on the accusations against Ellis began June 21st when Temple Smith, taking to his personal Instagram account, shared an image featuring series protagonist Detective Richard Fell and announced, yeah, it's finally going to be finished. For better or for worse, this is unfinished business to me, wrote Temple Smith in a subscribers only post made from his personal Patreon account. We left it hanging. Obviously, so much has changed since those days. Yes, I know, quote, so much. According to the transcriptions of the private post provided by Gizmodo, Temple Smith continued, not for me to speak for Warren, but I agreed to do the book, and I'm glad he's going to be doing some comics again. I don't think anyone thought he'd bugger off and work in a shoe factory or anything. He is, after all, one of the most important comic writers of the past few decades. The artist added, I mean, it means a lot to me to finish this thing. Finally, I couldn't say no. I guess we'll let the market speak now, as how things go.
Nope.
This is still not
Market won't
really.
give you a chance.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
But as I understand it, like, wasn't it just like they were like, oh, he uses his fame to get laid? Isn't that what the accusation
That basically
was?
is what happened. Yeah.
It wasn't even like a forced thing, right?
No. And the thing is
Why the fuck else would you be famous? Why
the thing is a lot of bitches got on because of him. A lot of chicks got into the industry fucking Warren Ellis. So it's like you were able. There are women who fucked Warren Ellis, got a position in the comic industry, are now making enough money to support themselves out the comic industry, and are now shitting on Warren Ellis. When if they didn't bust it wide open for him, it wouldn't even be in comics.
That's that problem, man. That's that thing. You start agreeing with these people. You start to give them, like an inch. They're gonna take a mile, man.
That's why I'm not proud to say Smash from Smash and Pass for AOC. That's how this shit happens. Like, yeah, I'll hit it. Now,
this actor?
Holy
Holy
he's
shit!
Not he's a
no. Sorry, I just was. Wakedown sent me a video of Dave Foley. I know who Dave Foley is. Like, I don't know him, but yeah. All right, well, let's just see if there's anything else in this article, and then we'll just pivot right out there because that's really interesting.
Oh, yeah.
This just sounds like there's no report, but they're not even talking about whether he did it or he didn't do it. Like, they're saying make amends, like, for what? For not being nice? Like, what's he supposed to do?
Calling back. Which, by the way, that's a fucking like women. So the narrative is like, okay, women are free; they can just fuck who they want and don't be a bigot. And then it's like, oh yeah, I fucked and then call back. Oh my god, you're so toxic. And
well, you're allowed to be a fucking jerk.
Yeah,
I'm not saying I would advise it or that it's right, but it's not illegal. Like, just because you're not nice to a bunch of women, so what? Okay, well, that's not a story.
Yeah. Robert,
60 women. Oh, what's he got?
He says they took his inch and now they're taking a mile.
Yeah, no shit. Good point. Because that's what they're saying. I mean, that's exactly what they're saying here. They're saying there's so many of us, a collective of 60 women and 9 non-binary people from across the world who claim to have been victims of a, quote, pattern of behavior from Ellis that includes but is not limited to serial emotional manipulation, grooming, coercion, and calculated gaslighting.
Wait. You cannot groom an adult. I'm sorry. You're a fucking adult. You're not being groomed. I'm sick of it. Grooming means children.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
You cannot groom a grown ass adult. Or do women not have their agency? You got to pick one.
They
gotta pick one.
No, they don't. They will be as irrational as they can. They don't care. No consistency matters.
Like emotional manipulation. He loved bomb me. What the fuck?
Listen to this. So
Deal with it.
This is in response to the Fell's revival. So many of us.com issued a statement on June 23rd expressing their disappointment of how, quote, since his public statement a year ago, to the knowledge of these authors, Ellis still has not taken direct responsibility for his destructive behavior, nor attempted to tackle the circumstances that allow such behavior to go on unchecked, both on and offline. That is the vaguest.
What did he do?
Honestly,
in that whole sentence where it was his allegations, never did I see forced sexual contact.
No.
Anything. Listen, if somebody says shit that you don't like, don't listen to them. Don't fuck them. Don't fuck them.
Yeah, like, he's a jerk. I get it. I'm sure he is a jerk. I know lots of jerks, but there's not this. You don't have any kind of claim here. He didn't treat you as well as you would have liked is not a crime.
I'm laughing at Robert. If he's being Me Too by 6s or below, I have no sympathy. I guess Robert has no sympathy. I think some of these girls are sick. All of these girls are
that's
6s
fucking
now or
funny.
below.
That's a really funny thing to say, though. Oh my god! I went to the website. There's so much text on so many of us. It's
so many of us,
and they all like everyone's fucking anonymous. Like I don't, just us. It's
groomed.
Like this. Yeah,
you're 24. You've been on Earth 2 decades plus. You can't be groomed just because you're dumb and young and don't want to take responsibility for the stupid shit that you do. I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna go back and sue every girl I fucking regret. Like, what the fuck?
My god!
What?
I'm reading one of the testimonials, like one of the things that they're being accused of. I'm gonna put this on the screen because you're not gonna believe that this is real.
Okay.
You are not going to believe that he is being accused, that this is some sort of a thing that even needs to be mentioned. Hannah, 2000. About the year 2000, I would have been 19 or 20. When Warren and I started emailing one another, as a big fan of his comics, I felt incredibly flattered that he'd take the time out of what I presume to be a busy schedule to chat one-on-one with me. At some point, our discussions turned sexual, but not serious. I was still flattered. Eventually, our communications fizzled out. Until recently, when I saw Jane and Katie come forward with their stories, I generally enjoyed his presence. That's it. That's the whole accusation. One time they had a sexual email.
In 2000.
What?
And I saw them. This is insane.
Like, you can't believe
this. This is insane.
That's a serious accusation. That's number one. This is the first accusation. This is supposed to, like...
It's insane that they published it, right?
Yeah.
Like, you would think, whoa, if that's the story, we're going to hide this one.
Yeah, we can't lead with that one because like it's not really strong enough. Like he tried to fuck a 20-year-old. Okay, like what's everyone in bars needs to be put on blast? Like because it's like
I have a question, Hannah. How are you supposed? Is your plan to never be fucked by anyone ever?
Yeah, when is that appropriate? Do you have to always initiate sexual contact or sexual discussions? Because I don't know if you noticed, but generally men have to lead these kinds of things. Women don't just hop up on our dicks. Like we have to make an effort generally. So what's he supposed to do? Just wait until you feel right about it? Ugh.
Jesus Christ. He harassed me through a sexual email that once. Not like he was sexually emailing me and kept emailing me and shit like that. That would be okay. This person constantly contacting you on 1 or 2. That's harassing. Yeah, all right. I get it.
So
a single email in the 2000s. Go ahead.
This one, RN Fox, first line. I had little contact with Warren Ellis directly. Oh, well, I'm sure. What are we talking about here? My story presents itself. Oh my God. Look how long this is.
You had little contact, but you wrote a fucking book about how Warren Ellis apparently didn't even fuck you.
What did he do? Has promoted his art projects, referred to me as an old friend. Wow, he sounds like a real. When I sent him a selfie for his photo Fridays, he called me a brazen hussy, and it made me smile. How? What did he do then? This is so long. I'm not reading this. This is crazy.
No. This is crazy shit. This is crazy shit.
Yeah.
Listen, this shit should be illegal.
Who is this for? Honestly, like how self-indulgent could you be that you would put this up here and be like, yeah, this is you need to read this. No, I don't. Jesus. Yeah. Nightmare. Anonymous. I knew one day he would be called on this. He tried very carefully to cover any serious tracks. He knew throughout he was doing potential harm because I told him and he cried. Then he proceeded to carry on even being worse. Once again, he was mean to you.
What did he do?
What did he do?
Like, how old were you? Were you young? Give me something. Give me anything to go on.
Anything.
Meredith. No, you know what, Meredith? You know what, Hannah? You're whore. That's the problem.
Look how long this is.
You're a dumb Meredith. You're a dumb whore. Hannah.
This is like literature.
RN Fox, you're all dumb whores. That's your problem.
My God.
You're dumb whores, and whatever happened, I'm not.
Look,
I don't want to say anything.
It's just that it's the arrogance to want to believe that the attention you're receiving is not sexual, but that's our interest. a lot of the times, and it's not a bad thing. It's just, it's a thing. If you're not interested, that's fine. But it's like the idea that like it's some sort of insult or disrespect to be sexually interested in you because you came at it from a professional angle is ridiculous. Who fucking cares? What difference does that make? Because of how you initiated the conversation, he can't now be sexual. Why?
Yeah.
Who fucking says so?
And I want to pay attention to what Lord Thoth said in the chat. He says, this is also making it harder for people who have actually been sexually assaulted to get heard. And this is doubly relevant because Lord Thoth is a fucking cop. So if he's saying it, that's a fucking problem.
Yeah.
And this does make it a lot harder.
It 100% always does, because then it just becomes noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly, because of the Me Too situation, I tend to just default to the man now, regardless of what happens, until I find I actually go back to innocent until proven guilty. I'm like, you know what? Till I see evidence that something happened, I'm gonna say there's some crazy bitches being crazy, especially when you see.
I mean, literally
talking about an email from 2000.
Look at Anonymous. You have disturbingly pretty lips. You should not be allowed to use them as an LJ icon. You have been told. That's it. This is the thing that he did that they're accusing him of. This is nothing. These aren't things. He shouldn't apologize. If this fucking beta male bends over, well, I'm sorry, I don't call Warren Ellis a beta male, but if he like acts like that, if he like convalesces to them, huge loss of respect.
I think he might have already said something like,
pussy.
I think he just wanted his job back. What is this site called? All of Us or something?
He never got to have sex with me.
Well, then what the fuck?
Then who cares?
Listen, man. Listen, ladies, guys you're not attracted to are going to be attracted to you. Get over it.
But
just get over it. No, what happens is because you're ugly or you're not attractive, everything's creepy. And it's this. Listen, you are making mountains out of nothing. There's not even molehills here.
It's so narcissistic. All of these are 100% self-centered, because what they're all saying is, he was nice to me. He tried to fuck me. I didn't like that. He's an abusive asshole. It's like, you are an insane human being who has no respect for anyone, because you're a delusional narcissist who lives in their own world.
Say that they actually liked it. They smiled.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, what feedback is he supposed to get that you don't even? Did you even let him know you were uncomfortable? Because I don't even hear that. Like, I said I was uncomfortable and he continued. I don't see that. I mean, I'm not. What's the name of the site? I kind of want to check it out myself.
This is so many of us.com.
So many of us. So many. I was looking at all of us.
I mean, it just sounds like sometimes he was trying to bang girls, sometimes he did, and then he wasn't nice to them while he was doing it. Like, it's just so insane.
Yeah.
Like, this is like, basically like you had a bad relationship. It's like, okay, if that's the case, then I have been violated over and over and over, because I have nothing but bad relationships. So am I a victim? Am I entitled to some money?
What I am can I go back to every woman I've interacted with that did some shady shit and say, oh, she was she groomed me? Like, what the fuck?
Exactly. She needs to be stopped.
By the way, what's up going on with Denver? I don't know who the fuck she is, and that's probably a fake name. But she has a 2004 and 2006 to 2009. What the fuck? Why'd you keep interacting with somebody that pissed you off in 2004?
I don't know. The real grooming. There we go. Grooming.
Were you 14 at this time?
Yeah. Were you a kid? I pursued alt modeling gigs. Oh, yeah. I'm sure there's no way that would draw sexual attention from men. You're like, it's so narcissistic. It's like, it's this delusion that you get to live in the world the way you want to, and that everyone else has to just go along with it. Like, it's fucking insanity. In my early 20s. So she's just young and hot, and is this like,
this old powerful guy. She told him everything going on in my life, usually about a disappointing boyfriend after another. Like, maybe you're a whore.
Maybe you're just a bad person.
I'm thinking you're a stupupid whore. By the evidence that you've given me, Miss Denver,
there's literally
stupid whore.
There's nothing here other than him just saying, like, other than him just not being and trying to bang these girls. That's all it is. Trying to bang this bro, Henry. That's like, I don't see anything. He manipulated me into thinking, no. You believed it was true. He manipulated you. How could he? What is he, a magician? Did he put a spell on you? You just trusted someone you shouldn't have. That's all this is. Like, grow the fuck up and take responsibility for yourself. I was 24. Unless he hurt you, everything that happened is 100% your responsibility. You are an adult.
Listen, there's the justifying. A lot of women can justify any goddamn thing they do.
Mm-hmm.
Any fucking thing, no matter how horrible, no matter how stupid, it can be justified.
Yep. Absolutely. I'm not saying he's a good guy. I have no idea, but you can just not date him.
Yeah.
He didn't hurt anybody.
No. He tried to fuck some women. Like you said, he tried to fuck some women. Some of them fucked him. Most of them doesn't seem like they did.
Most of them, it doesn't sound like they had any even physical contact with him ever. Like they were never even in the same room as him.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, man. Unfucking believable. This is kind of upsetting. And like Image releasing this, like, what's he supposed to do? Like, I'm sorry I once tried to have sex with you.
What?
Sorry.
I'm reading one, Madeline or whatever, and I'm skimming through it because, God text. But it's like she's talking about, oh yeah, I was 27. What does there's nothing inherently interesting. You're grown as fuck. He was 36. It's not even a big age gap. What are you talking about, you stupid whore?
Yeah, like it's so arrogant to assume that like you're entitled to something here, that this is something the world needs to know about. They just do not. These are not stories. Oof. That's upsetting. That's just like, wow, there's nothing here.
Hit the knee and it didn't matter, if I remember correctly, last year. He said, he tried to apologize and it didn't mean shit. He should have just said, look, I talked to some women. No one ever said you can look. I would have used if I was Warren Ellis, I would have went on this site and read the testimonials and say, did you see anything say that I touched these women inappropriately? Did you see anything that said I pushed on after they said they didn't want my attention? Do you even see that? Because they write all this shit and they don't even say, they don't have any receipts except a guy trying to fuck them.
But they're not
a lot of times them showing interest.
They're not. Oh shit! It's not like they're being like the vague, like sometimes where they kind of just are vague about it. They're not even doing that. They're telling you explicitly what happened, and it was nothing. Like you don't even need to interpret this. Just be like, "There's nothing here." They're just saying that he tried to bang him once, and that was upsetting because they're children emotionally. I don't get it.
They are, and especially this one is 27, talking about telling all her friends or telling all her life story to this guy. And so there's nothing interested or a 36-year-old man. So there was a 9-year age gap and you're acting like he's grooming you. You're a grown ass woman. There are, in fact, 27-year-olds tend to date guys in their mid 30s.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a high amount of that.
That's really common.
God damn it, man.
It's so gross.
Yeah, this is
that you would fold this type of shit into real sexual abuse, like real rape and shit like that. That you would try to put this as in the same conversation is so repugnant.
Yeah,
and just
these people
yuck.
Are horrible.
They're gross. They're awful. All right, we're gonna wrap up soon, but I do want to watch that. We've got the one last thing that the Wait Down shared with me. It's I guess that we were talking about that actor Dave Foley.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, wait, I know this guy. This guy was on you've seen him around. I think he wasn't he on that sketch show?
Kids in the Hall?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was on other stuff.
Yeah. Well, he's been a bunch, but I mean, that was pretty big. And he was the voice of Yes Man in Fallout New Vegas.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm. Didn't know that. So let's hear what he's got to say.
Life would make a good sitcom. It would make a great 1-hour drama on Lifetime. The family law system in Canada is horribly broken. And I'm not the only man who's been ordered to pay more than he earns or go to jail. Basically, the only way I can pay the child support that I'm ordered to is to have a weekly sitcom. I need to earn at least $1 million a year.
Wow.
I have to pay $17,700 a month.
What?
But yeah, no, I was ordered by Canadian court to pay like what at that point was about 5 times my income every month in child support.
Holy shit.
Which was based on my earnings when I was doing news radio. And I don't know if you've checked the listings. it hasn't been on for 12 years.
Wow.
The premise of the court system in Canada is that children should continue to live at the same standard of living that they were at the point of separation, no matter what. And that's
is that how they get by?
Mm.
I'd never heard that like expressed that that's what it is.
This is why I don't have kids, and this is why I don't want to get married, and this is why I'll never get married. Well, that and obesity, but like I don't want to. The whole system is a scam. I know it's worse in Canada, but here, but it's not that much better. It's not that much better.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, yeah. The thing that I don't like is that you can't. There's no variations to the contract. Like you have to sign like this sort of generic contract, and it's like I don't like that at all. Like there are reasons like to get married, like especially if something happens to you and like your wife depends on like the income, like if you like die or whatever. Like there are things like Patrice O'Neal's girlfriend, like she kind of got fucked over, like because there was no legal. She had no legal claim to like their apartment and like a lot of their belongings and stuff like that because she wasn't technically his wife. And so like there was a lot of miscommunication and like issues that like, would have been resolved had they been married.
Man.
So it's
that part
gray.
sucks.
Yeah.
But if I die on a girl, then she's just gonna have to deal with not having any of my shit. Like I'm not marrying. Like I can't because I can't miss this happening. You know
I get it. No, I feel the same way.
It's insane.
Yeah.
I don't Perry on. That's too brutal. Don't highlight it. So he said he asked me
Jesus
to have a chat.
Christ,
yeah, nah, that might be going too far, but Jesus Christ.
But I mean, if you knew that like in Canada, like that was the potential. I mean, I guess you don't know this till you go through it.
Yeah.
So this is crazy.
Fuck.
Patently insane. Because if the marriage had stayed together and income dropped, the children's lifestyle would change with the parents. But the court system kind of believes that because the family has split up, those children should never experience any change ever. And then it doesn't matter if the man isn't making money, he's still supposed to pay and keep them at that level of that lifestyle, no matter what.
Man, fuck Canada, dude. I could never live in fucking Canada. Like, all due respect to Islington Girl, that 70s rock fan and Thought and all that shit, but fuck that shit, man. Those laws, they make California seem free.
Canada just seems crazy. It's falling, man. That's why I call it North Michigan. It's North Detroit now. Welcome. You Canadians always used to talk shit about Detroit. I was there. I remember. Ha 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 ha.
The Islington Girl, hell. She says, I think it depends on some different things because my dad didn't have to pay a dime in child support.
Well,
I wonder if that was the time, though.
It could have been the time, could have been the amount of money. Even I'm sure whatever Dave Foley was giving them was a lot more than what the average guy in Canada's giving them. You know what I mean? And that's a lot of it is that because even the child support system here, it tends to affect the guys who actually care more than the deadbeats. The broke deadbeats like, well, we can't really get anything out of you, so fuck you. But you make $80K, time to get some of that cash because
Dude, there's some fucked up shit too. I've heard like women like adopting giving up a kid for adoption that the father was still very much willing to raise.
Oh.
And like there was like this law, like there was like a loophole, and he had no power, and he couldn't do anything about it. Like what? Like that's legal in this country is insane, man.
But remember, sex is against women.
Women,
damn
only
patriarchy.
Women. Yep, absolutely. All right, this is another 30 seconds.
Court's attitude is well earn more. Yeah, I live in a very live in a small loft in downtown LA, and and my family in Toronto lives in a $2.5 million house on a park. Yeah, and I also have another family in California that I'm also divorced from. So I have a second ex-wife and a daughter, and the court believes that they can just rot in hell.
Wow, that's
the Canadian court's opinion. Those two, they can rot in hell. They don't care.
Because they're probably American.
Although I like being married. That's the problem. I really do like being married, and I love babies. That's always my problem. I love being around babies, and so hopefully I'll have the sense to never do that again.
Yeah.
Unless I get really rich, then I'll be like Chaplin, having babies at 80.
Nah, man.
That was pretty funny. But oh wow, that's really
worth it.
Sad. I'd never heard that before.
Marriage is destroyed, completely destroyed. So like
let's see if he learned, because that was obviously a while ago.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Dave
baby.
Foley.
Got married
No, he
13
didn't.
years ago. Oh, he didn't.
No, he learned
Good
his
job,
lesson.
Dave.
Way to go,
Good
Dave.
job, Dave.
Good for you, buddy.
18 years, and the 18th birthday you find out wasn't his. She get my. I'm gonna stop singing.
Oh, no way. Oh, my mistake. Okay, so his Foley married his second wife, actress Chrissy Guerrero. Let's see if she was worth it. Probably not. Google.
Don't get married, kids. It ain't worth it anymore. It's not. The first off, you have I think it's 70% chance of divorce now.
Yeah, she's pretty hot, but I don't know. She's not like, but I guess whatever. So they married in August 1st, 2002. The marriage ended in divorce in 2008. Daughter was born in 2003. They subsequently reconciled and were remarried on December 31st, 2016.
He remarried one of his ex-wives. Man, I mean, that's his life.
Oh, wow. Life. So so I guess in 2011, I don't know when this video came out, but he was when he got ordered to pay that. He was living in LA, but I think it says he believes if he returns to Canada, he will be arrested.
Oh, so he's like a fucking fugitive.
I guess so. I don't know if that's still supported, but yeah.
Oh my God.
That's fucking insanity, dude. That is crazy.
The family and there's no changing any of these laws. It'll never change.
No, they're not going back. Ascension Dildo says, of course Canada's crazy. Just look at the Irish policeman.
We love Lord Thoth. We love Lord Thoth.
That's true, man. All right. Well, want to wrap it up, my friend?
Yeah, we can wrap it up. It was a great episode. Let me actually get back on camera to say bye to everybody. But golly, listen, man, we learned. This is the MGTOW episode of Culture Crime Fighters. Jesus Christ.
A little incel episode.
All women are trash episode. What the hell happened? Awesome. This is the Tommy Lord, the reverse Tommy Lord episode of Culture Crime Fighters. Yeah, you could go to, your reputation can be ruined for sending an email in 2000 by calling a girl hot. Or you could have a girl who gave you head. Somebody could 20 years after the fact try to take your job, or you could get married and owe more child support alimony than you could ever earn.
400 times more his income is what he owed in child support. Like,
God,
how does a judge pass a ruling like that?
They're evil individuals. The law is not just. It's ran by evil motherfuckers.
That's so fucked up. That is so fucked up. Ascension Dildo says, take the clown pill, folks. Take the clown pill. Big Towel.
Big Towel Bears going our own way. Yeah. Yeah, man.
That's funny. Thank you. Wake Down says, great show, guys. Thank you for the entertainment. You are very welcome, my friend. This is a blast for me. I'm glad that you guys enjoy it. Because I'd probably still do it if no one was watching.
Super fun. We appreciate everybody being here, man. You guys you're the lifeblood of the show. We went 20 episodes, which is insane. Yes, up to me. I have 500 subs. I'm trying to switch my channel up, so I'm not doing as many streams as I normally would. I'm trying to get a review out and try to do more reviews. And I would have done. I told myself I would do like news content I care about, but there hasn't been. This has not been the most busiest news thing. I didn't watch Loki, so I'm not clued in with that. So it's Loki. Excuse me. Yeah, Loki.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, stay tuned. Obviously, we have the cocktail lounge on Friday.
Yep.
And we do this show every week. We bounce between my channel and Vigilante Williamson's channel.
Yeah, next week's on my channel, so please sub if you want to continue the fun.
Absolutely, I'm going to try to get the MF for Mondays back up and running, but it's really tough with work. I have no free time. So, but yeah, so thank you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. Ascension Dildo, hail Vig, hail chat. Fuck yourself, Matt. Android scanner says Agtal. Androids going their own way. I like the Android muscle in the head. That's awesome. Yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. Snorted Poopus and Thoth, Man of War 665, Neighbor of the Beast, Hail, the Islington Girl, Darius Munchausen. All you guys are wonderful people. You keep this whole thing going. So thank you so much, and we'll see you next week on Vig's channel.
Yeah. Peace, everybody. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.